Good morning, Wall Street winners. It is Friday, October the 4th, and we have just gotten the U.S. non-farm payrolls jobs report, and it has come in hot, and hot is good. It has come in 150,000 jobs better than estimated. Now, this could be a misprint and it could get corrected in the coming weeks, but let's take the good news as it arrives. And that has sent markets soaring in the pre-market. If we take a look at the futures, they are all in the green and all up. The NASDAQ and Dow Jones almost 200 points. Or in the case of the Dow Jones, 0.5%, the S&P over 0.5%, and the NASDAQ up close to 1%, just under 1%. So looks like we're going to be off to a very good start to the day and the closeout of the week, and some positive returns that you should be able to take profit on. What I would encourage you to do is take that profit as you watch the chart of the stocks you own throughout the day. And if you start seeing it turn and the overall market turning, which it could on a dime, take your profits and then get back in if it dips or when it dips. That said, if you're liking these videos, please subscribe to the channel. Leave me a like and a comment. I put one of these out every day and a number of shorts as well, hoping to educate people who are interested in understanding what the narrative is out there in the market at the current time. The other thing that's going on in the markets is the Middle East conflict, which looks like it's turning pretty close. It's very close to a tipping point and turning into a full-on war as Israel now targets and bombs Iran. There are huge concerns about this escalating beyond Lebanon and beyond the further borders, and that's causing oil to jump. So if we look at what happened yesterday, oil had a phenomenal day. We can see from the crude number here for crude futures, it was up significantly yesterday. If we go into crude and look at the 5-day, we've gone from 66, 67 up to almost 75 yesterday, down at 74 right now, but still up in the pre-market. That caused a lot of our oil refinery stocks, which we talked about in the past few days, to really shoot up. We'll come back to health and retail in a minute. We've got green on the screen almost across the board for our oil refining stocks. From the U.S. company perspective, you can see that these stocks are doing very, very well and look like they're going to have a very positive day today. I mean, Valero yesterday up $8.35. That was a huge gain for them yesterday. Some of the others not up to the same extent, but also not down as much as Valero has been over the last few months. So it's making a bit of a staged recovery. The other thing we have going on that applies to transport as we scroll back up towards health and retail is that the dock workers strike has been, I'm not going to say resolved, but it has been resolved temporarily. They've pushed it out to, I believe, January 15th. There is a proposal for a wage hike on the table, and the workers' union, the ship workers' union, has agreed to go back to work. So that's a positive for the transport side and the shipping side, and I would expect we might see a bit of a pop in these today. I mean, JB Hunt is up $1.31 in the pre-market, so we'll have to see what happens as that moves forward. If we go to health and retail and scroll back up to the top, you can see that Costco appears to be making a recovery. Lulu's up for the morning in the pre-market. Dollar General is up, not to the same extent as others, but it is up. And then you've got Walmart down slightly. And most of the others here in the green. Let's continue down now past oil, because we've talked about that, into technology. The NASDAQ as an index is up 1%. So that's really meaning that everything here is going to be green on the screen for the most part. And we're seeing some pretty good gains across the board here. Micron up $2.36 after being up $2 yesterday. This is in the pre-market. So again, doesn't often or always translate immediately, but I think it will today based on the greater market being up and the greater index. CRM up almost $4, so looking like it's going to get to the 284, 285 mark there, maybe higher. Palo Alto, Pan W up $6.11, so that's going to take it into the 340s. Nat looks like it's going to be up $1.60, taking it into the low 80s. And then as we scroll down further, Microsoft, this might be an interesting one to get in on. That's not up nearly as much as some of the others in percentage terms, and I think it could be. So if you can get in under 420 for Microsoft, I think you might see that uplift back into the 430s or 440s in the coming days, if not today. ARM up almost $4, so that's a pretty big move for that stock. AMD looking to make a $4 move there, so that's fabulous. Lam Research is was a $800 stock. It just did a 10-for-1 stock split that took effect yesterday, and it's now looking like it's up significantly in percentage terms, so up a couple of percent there at $2.26, taking it into the $83, $84 range today, maybe up even higher. Meta, which is a stock we absolutely love, that is up almost $4. That's going to take it up into the mid to high 580s, and so we're getting closer to that 600 mark that we called as a new target for that stock by the end of October, and it looks like it's approaching that, may even hit that today, depending on how things go. Tesla. So Tesla got beat up yesterday, down $8.50. Looks like it's recovering to the tune of about $5 this morning. I'm a little leery on Tesla. Tesla has announced a big debt offering that it is covering by its prime leases. It has had deliveries down. It's got an announcement about its autonomous driving coming up shortly in the month of October. And if that doesn't meet or exceed expectations, I think we're going to see a significant drop in Tesla to the tune of, I would say, down to the low 200s. So that could be a $20 to $40 drop in Tesla if the news around the autonomous driving doesn't exceed the expectations of the market. We've got the Chinese stocks still rallying, so BABA looks like it's going to be up into the 116s. It might even get into the 120s today, depending on how the market really takes off. NVIDIA had a great day yesterday, up $4 or almost 4%. A little over 3%. It's up another 2 in the pre-market. And then Google, which has been making a huge comeback. And this is a stock we've been saying you should be invested in right now because its recovery has been slower than a lot of the other tech companies. It has not recovered as quickly, and it is slowly making that recovery. So if you're in Google, you're looking at almost a 1.5% gain here in the pre-market, up $2.20, and I think it's going to go higher. I think we could see Google get close to, if not into the 170s today. Adobe as well, up almost $7. And then as we scroll down to financials, green on the screen in financials. You've got SoFi, one of our favorites, up 16 cents. That's going to get it up into the $8 range. You've got JP Morgan, which announces, first to announce in a less than a couple of weeks, up $3.24 in the pre-market. And Morgan Stanley and Goldman. There you go. Morgan Stanley, we called it going into earnings. I said this stock was going to be at 106 or higher, and based on the pre-market, it's going to be almost 106.5, if not 107 when it opens today. Goldman up more than $7.50 in the pre-market. That's going to take that stock into the 490s again, and I think it's going to rally up into the 500s. And after or before or after earnings, depending on whether it rallies pre or rallies post, I think this is going to be a $520 stock. So that's where we are today. If you're liking these videos, please subscribe to the channel. Also, remember to take your profits when you have them. Lock your profits in. There's always going to be days where there's good news and bad news. And when we have conflicts going on around the world, like what's happening in the Middle East, it can be very good from a risk mitigation perspective to keep your cash on the sidelines over a period like the weekend, over a 2, or in the case of a holiday weekend, over a 3-day period, so that if something happens over the weekend, you're not exposed and caught in a red or negative down position when the markets open Monday morning. Good luck in your trades today, and if you're liking the videos, please hit the like and subscribe button.